And basically, it's important to understand that it's not something that happens instantly. It can, but it's rare. And often it requires a deep inner journey into oneself, honesty, openness. And yeah, so we're going to be talking a little bit more about that. And yeah, so we're going to introduce Kay, is Kay Lawson.
Hey, David Lawson. Okay, yes, sir.
Hey, David Lawson. Yeah, and you are based in Germany, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, would you care to share a little bit about yourself? Like, you know, who are you? What do you do? And why are you here speaking with us?
Firstly, I have to thank the host and the co-host for giving me the opportunity to be among to this program. My name is David Lawson. I'm 42 years old and I live in Germany. I'm a graphic designer, a video content creator, and I work in a logistic company here in Germany. So I'm a single father. I'm a co-parenting also. So I'm glad to be part of the talk show today about how to forgive your ex or how to have a forgiveness in all aspects of relationship.
Mm.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Can you just tell us a little bit? Sorry about that. Can you just tell us a little bit about your journey becoming a single father, so we get to know a little bit about you? So just tell us a little bit about you becoming a single father.
Being a single father wasn't an easy task. We all know, you like being single. Many people thought being a single man or being a single parent or being a single. Okay, we're talking about father right now. Like me being a single father, when I started the journey, I thought I have a freedom. I thought I'm free. But at the end of the day, it's like I'm caged. It's like I'm in prison.
Wow.
Because why I said this is because I'm a kind of person that I love to stay around my children. I love to stay around my family. But when I'm alone, sometimes I got depressed. Sometimes I got sick. The journey is not a journey that it's easily to do what? To see something good about. So
yeah, it's a tough journey. Thank you so much. It is a tough journey. There's a lot of people when they talk about us. When they talk about single fathers or even just being a single parent, it's one of the hardest and the toughest thing that you can do. Thank you so much for sharing. I don't know what happened to him, but he's going to join us.
He's back.
Join us soon.
I forgot to plug in the connection of the laptop, so it's telling me battery low. So
okay, great.
I'm so sorry, please. I'm so sorry, please.
No, that's fine. And that's what I love about it, because it goes to show we're actually live.
Oh.
But it's good. It's really lovely to hear the journey of a single father from your point of view. That is not one of the easiest road to travel on. And I love the part you talked about being loneliness and about being depressed, the isolation side of it, So thank you so much for sharing. And I look forward for us to dive into those topics in deeper connection, so that with other single fathers, they would be encouraging. But today, as our guest, I know, as you shared a little bit, and we're going to talk about the power of forgiveness.
Definitely,
now,
yeah. I will.
First of all, guys out there, as a man, what is forgiveness? Let's dive into that meaning first. What is forgiveness?
Yeah, exactly. What, Kay, for you, if you had to define forgiveness, and what has it been for you in your own personal journey? So, forgiveness means different things to different people, but for you, what does it mean for you?
For me, being to forgive doesn't mean it's a reconnection. It's just something like you have to go back to yourself and work on yourself. Like you offend me, or you trying to do something bad to me, and I say, okay, I'm not forgiving you, or I want to forgive you. Before you can able to say forgiveness, you have to look on yourself and forgive yourself. Work on yourself before saying I'm forgiving you. Because forgiveness is like something when you say it out, you can't take it back anymore. Just like when I tell you I'm sorry, it has a very deep meaning. Like when someone told me, why can't you tell me you're sorry? I said, let me tell you I'm sorry from the inner part of me, from my emotion, from my passion, from my feelings. So when I'm telling you about forgiveness, it's come from me, from head to toe. It's not about what I'm saying out right now.
Okay, so what you're saying is ultimately, and I think you've put it really eloquently, where it comes from a deeper part of yourself.
Yeah.
But it starts with forgiveness of yourself first. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah.
It starts with yourself, and just really knowing that that's what you feel deep inside.
Yeah.
Right.
It's powerful, because you're also talking about the forgiveness actually going inside you, the deeper inside you, to be able to forgive. When you feel that deeper inside you, then you're able to transfer to forgive that person.
Exactly.
That is very, very good. It's about being in touch with you. What do you think, Daniel? What is forgiveness on your side?
On my side, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I was going to say the way I see it is very similar to how Kay sees it. It's like it's got to come from deep within yourself, and you can pretend you have forgiven, and often I see this all the time, where someone says to me, I ask them, have you forgiven your ex-partner, and they'll say, yes, I have. Yes, I have. But in the next sentence, they get upset at the other person, or there's different levels of forgiveness. But Kay, with regards to your forgiveness journey, how was it at the beginning? Because I can imagine, based on what you said, it wasn't strictly deep forgiveness from the very beginning. You had to process perhaps anger, or what? Tell me a bit more about that part.
Yeah, like to myself, when my journey started, like a single father, like a father, when I had an issue with my ex, you understand? So in my mind, I said, no, I can't forgive her, because
You
she threw me
can't,
out
or
of
you
the.
can.
I said, in the first place, I said, no, I cannot, because she threw me out of the house. So how will you throw me out of the house? I'm living on the street, But at the process, at the long run, when the communication was like we are having an average communication, because we have kids together. You understand? So then I learned that, okay, I think I have to forgive. Where can you bring the forgiveness? Forgiveness is you have to forgive yourself above all mistakes you have done. As long as you learn from your mistake, because my mistake was I will never forgive. That was the first mistake I made. Because when we make a research about forgiveness, we have the scientific forgiveness, we have the spiritual forgiveness, we have even we have a lot of forgiveness that I can able to share with us in just a short minute. You understand? So in my own way, I try not to forgive in the first place. Later on, I realize I am making a mistake, because for me not to forgive, I can't move on.
Okay. So, and how long was that period of time where from the moment you, let's say, you left the house to the moment where you thought, I need to forgive? What was that period?
Oh, the period it's so long. I think it's something like before I got to realize, before I got to realize, it took me like 3-4 years.
4 years.
3,
So
4
yeah,
years.
okay.
3-4 years. Do you
Yeah.
know why?
Wow.
Do you know why? Let me
Mhm.
just give you a reason. The reason was there is no communication between me and my kids.
Mm.
Oh. So you feel not forgiving your ex, there wasn't that great communication between you and your kids because of that. It became like a stumbling block. Is that,
Yeah.
am I correct?
Yeah.
And how did you overcome that? Because that is major, not be able to have that communication with your children.
I'm a Christian, and I believe in the Bible, and I believe in the name of God. You know, faith overcome everything. When you believe, when you have God, and we pray to God, you know, faith can play a role of promoting forgiveness. You understand me? For example, just when you as an individual person, and you have a very strong belief, and you practice what the Bible says, then you move on that way and just ask God, Lord, forgive me so I can forgive someone. That is in the biblical way. And the scientific aspect of it, the research made it to understand that forgiveness is associated with a psychological and a social benefit. That's it.
Yeah, that's fine. There's something you touched on that as well. I read an article where actually doctors are prescribing to their parents forgiveness because what they find, and I'm like, what? And one of the reasons they find a lot of people that kind of have some kind of illness that they kind of really, and they find out that it actually stemmed from the that emotional unforgiveness. So some doctors are actually prescribing forgiveness. So that is a really good point in terms of scientific way. What do you think, Daniel?
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think, and I loved, Kay, what you said about asking for to God, to the higher power for forgiveness of yourself. Because often this doesn't come from, it can't come from our ego, because our ego is so ingrained in the story that it has to come from a higher place, from our true self, the part of us which is good, which is kind, or all of that it needs to come, you know, from that higher place. And often, yeah. So I think it was great that you undertook that journey, but it's, you know, like you said, 3 years. It took you some time to get to that place. So here's my next question. Once you started to actually start the process of forgiveness, what were the changes you saw in the relationship between yourself, your kids, and your ex?
Oh, thank you, Daniel, for that great question.
Good question.
What I learned when I come to realize it was I have a better physical health. My stress has been reduced, and I have an improvement in my relationship with people. Yeah.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Did you experience a lot of grief and emotion during that process of forgiveness?
Like crying, you know, that kind of thing, like crying and asking yourself questions.
Yes, I do. Sometimes I sit down, I ask myself where I'm going to start, where I'm going to go to get my first love from. You know, having your first love, losing your first love, you know, you have to think of the good time you spent together. When you have that memory of the good time you spent together, you know, I was like, oh, how am I going to do it? But as long as I try to like, no, just let it go. There's another that said, let it go. When you let it go is a forgiveness also. When you let everything go, Open your heart. Have a clean heart. Make yourself okay. Believe in God. Believe in yourself. Work. Go to your fitness studio. Sleep on the right time. Wake up. Do everything at the right time. You'll see you're now moving from one step to the other.
Oh,
You
that's
understand?
powerful.
Yeah.
That's powerful. Can you tell us this question for both of you guys? Can you give us one example where you went through the journey of forgiving a person, the steps that you took to forgive a person? Any one of you guys, you know.
I mean, I'll start my journey because, and I've mentioned my journey here in the past, and that was with my ex-wife, where, you know, after we split up, there was a little bit of antagonism, and, you know, the emotions that come up, all of the emotions that were hidden during the relationship came up, you know, the anger, the guilt, the shame, all of that. And for me, it was a choice. I realized from the very beginning, I wanted to forgive. Yeah, I wanted to let go. So the first step was the choice. Okay, I don't want to be hold on to anger. I don't want to hold on to these negative emotions. Then was the journey where basically I went backwards and forwards between forgiveness and anger, and I understood that for me it wasn't an instant thing. It was like I'd be stuck in forgiveness, I'd be stuck in anger, I'd be stuck in that, and it was just the process. But the more I set that intention to forgive and to make the choice to look at this situation with love, the more I was able to do that, and consequently, the relationship with my ex-partner improved. You know, the more I let go deep within me, the deeper suppressed emotions, the more the relationship improved. So that and that was and now we get on really well. Now, you know, we speak, and you know, we're really strongly connected, but now as friends. So that was my journey.
What about you, Kate? Because it took you about 4 years to actually forgive your ex because he threw you out the house. And when you didn't forgive, you find out that was really kind of blocking you having a good communication relationship with your children. So for you, what was your journey? Kind of like say, right, yeah, I'm going to forgive. What was your journey?
The journey was when the period of like separation came, you know, everybody move on. I realized the way I was living before wasn't the way I'm living right now. Because I like turned myself into like a street hawker. I've been on the street 24 hours. I turned myself like smoking, drinking, do a lot of things that I've never done in my past. And there was a time, because I love to speak in a biblical way and in a spiritual way, because I don't talk about the world. You understand? I don't talk about worldly people. I talk because I'm a Christian. I love like reading the Bible, reading like the spiritual books to bring my spirit back together, you know. So I sat down and this spirit like came into me, you know, and I have a thought. I have to like let it go. I have to forgive. Immediately I have that thought in me. Although it wasn't an easy part because we lost communication and a lot of things happened during that journey. You know, when I prayed to God, I said, God, what has really happened to my life? And God told me, you have to forgive someone. Who is that person? I don't know. I have to pray once again. I pray all over each time. Who is that person? And God has sent to me, this woman, I sent it in your life, but you people departed. So when I talked to her, I said, okay, I might offend you, you might offend me, but I'm saying from the big of my heart, I'm forgiving you. Just let it go for the sake of the children. After a while, not quite long, I began to see things are now moving forward. Things are now moving fine. And we now became friends. We talk like a sister and brother. Now
Wow, that's
we are like
amazing.
we are like friends. Even when I don't call in a week, she like pick up her phone. Why don't you come? We don't see you. Where are you? Are you coming? You know what I'm saying? Like this morning I have to call. Oh, I want to go with my friend out. Can you come and pick the boys? They are playing football. So okay, no problem. I will come down. You know, we're like sometimes, what are you doing in the weekends? I'm doing nothing. Can we go and eat together? You know, we're just friends, you know. I have the
Wow.
heart, I took away the heart of the heart of anger, the heart of unforgiveness. When I took it away, then I bring the heart of forgiveness, let it go, and things were like now become. Sometimes she asks me, the way you do things is so mysterious. I said, how? Whenever you want to do something, you say you will do it, you will do it. Whenever I say you want to travel to this, you go, you have the money, you do it. I say, yeah, because my heart's clean. My hands are poor, you know. So
Kate, can I ask you, like, because what you said is really interesting, because you're coming from a place where you were previously, you know, there was a lot of animosity, there was anger, and now you're like brother and sister, and I think that's amazing. And this shows the
Fantastic,
power
yeah.
this shows the power of forgiveness. So, and I guess that since you're like this brother and sister relationship, that they're friends, that now, you know, you help each other out. For example, you compromise a lot more. Like, for example, you know, if you need her help, she'll help you out, and vice versa. It feels like it's that kind of relationship now.
no. It's not a relationship. You know, there's one thing I used to tell people: when you're with someone that you have kids together, it's in two ways. When I'm with a woman without no kids, that is called a relationship. But when both of you are like coming back to each other, that is called a you're trying to like real define your friendship. But when you having a kid with a woman and you have a good communication, that's called friendship. Yeah.
Fantastic. That's fun. I love what you said, that just those simple words that you went up to say to her, I forgive you. That kind of broke the door open to have these amazing relationships. To guys, very quickly, guys, if you're going through that journey, please, forgiveness, it does work. Even just saying those simple words, I forgive you, like our guest speakers just said, it kind of opened the door and began to have a better relationship with his family, with the ex, with the missus. But I'm just going to go a little bit here. Now you're having this amazing relationship with her. Would you ever think of going back again? I'm being a bit cheeky here. You don't have to answer if you don't.
Yeah, but yeah.
I think
Leave that to.
Then I want to say something.
I know I put you on the spot, but you don't think about that. But we're gonna. So I think that is amazing when you share forgiveness. I mean, let me share my journey of forgiveness. I think it's only fair as well as a host as well, and particularly for women out there as well. And what Kay said was really, really right as well, because the father of my son, particularly the younger one, just really, and I suppose that's what somebody actually asked me a deep question. And the question was, why are you passionate about single father? All right. There must be something. And you know what? I couldn't really at the beginning really answer it. You know, and then as this person kept pressing on, and the answer was actually the father to my children. He had all the opportunity. I'm not one of those parents that say you can't come and see your children wherever it is. He had all the opportunity to come and know his son, and he doesn't want to. As much as we've reached that, and even right now, my son is 26, he's tried to reach that to him. It's kind of a bit. And I think that's where the passion for me came from, because yes, we're going to have those men who doesn't want to know, and they have got the opportunity. And yet we have this man who are amazing, handsome heroes that are going through above and beyond to be with their children. And I suppose that is answering the question today, but also answering to myself. But I think the journey of forgiveness, and I really want to encourage you, what you said is true, because I remember I was carrying so much resentment towards him, all right? And I wasn't moving forward, and it did affect my health. It did affect the way I did business, running my business. It did affect in many number of ways. And I remember, you know, God being part of my life at that time. He said, forgive your ex. And for me, I should have been actually a barrister because I could argue my case very well.
Yeah.
And I went to God, are you serious? You asked me to forgive him, Gina. And I just laid down everything. And I just said the word very quietly, forgive him. Because if you don't forgive him, I won't forgive you. And I'm like, oh, and I cried and I cried and I cried and I cried. And I remember I was so much in pain. I'm not sure about you guys. You know, when you carried on forgiveness, the relationship just broken, that pain in your heart, and it felt like it was crushing me. And when I finally stopped crying and I sat up and I said, yeah, I'm going to forgive. And it did open that door, just like you rightfully say. So forgiveness is so important. What happened? My next question to you, what happened?
Margaret, can I
men?
just interrupt you a second, Kay? I know
Yeah.
at some point you said you had to go.
No. I think I.
Are you okay?
No, don't worry. I'm still like I see. I've got some point to give out to people outside.
Okay, good.
Good. Because
Sorry,
you're going
Margaret.
to ask.
Yeah.
No, he said I'm keeping an eye on the time. But the thing about it, when people like we are talking, we've gone through the journey and having the understanding of forgiveness. All right. For a man's point of view here, we've had Alex, we came and spoke about for him when he decided to forgive his ex, it's a massive weight off lifted from him. And the same as you, Kay, what you've just talked about and you. But how could we speak to men out there who have made up their mind, I'm not going to forgive my ex? Can any of you men here address this for us, Kay, as a guest? How can we address that man that says, I'm not going to forgive my ex, and it's got this anger, this bitterness? How can we do that?
Sorry, before I'm moving into your question, I'm gonna say one or two things for 1 minute. We have kind of been forgiven, you know, like there is a way someone will do something to you, and you might like, no, this thing can take my life. But no matter what can take your life, no matter what, you have to have the heart of forgiveness. Because I'm telling every man outside, people watching us on Facebook, on every platform, you having a heart of forgiveness, it makes you healthier. It makes you, it opens in new door of a new love. Because when you don't forgive, you can't be loved, and you can never love yourself. Never. So when you like forgiving your children or your kids, they will see a positive light in you. They will see as a different father. There is no how you can communicate with the mother, but the blockness is still in there. You're not forgiving. The children can never see you. They can never see the light of the father in you. So I'm telling the men out there right now, have the heart of forgiveness. Let doors be opened unto you. Open your heart. Be straightforward. You know, when you're forgiving, you have more time and of a better thing. You have that energy. You have that strength to do more than ever or than before.
Yeah,
Yes.
Kay, that was very, very well said. And that's my experience as well. And in giving advice to fathers that perhaps haven't forgiven and perhaps can't see the kids, I think forgiveness gives you the opportunity to to break down the barriers so you have more possibility of seeing your children. Because if you've been prevented from seeing your children and you're holding on to anger, then forgiveness can break down that wall. And, you know, often I've had fathers say, oh, you know, she will never change. She's always like this. But when you truly forgive deep down, and I think Kay could relate to this, that, you know, those walls that were previously there can break down.
Wow. So can we then put that from your statement saying when they say, oh, they will never change, they never do this, but shall we then, the changes need to start from us then, you know, so that that person we can see then begin to change. Am I correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We
So,
have yeah, okay, you can go on, Margaret.
Okay, yeah, no, I was just saying, because obviously what I'm hearing from both of you as well as what I'm saying, it's that the key to, particularly what you've just said, Daniel, you know, if you've been stopped seeing your children and you're still holding on that bitter, holding on that anger, fighting it through, it kind of even make it even harder for you to see the children. But when you break through the door, from what I'm hearing from you, Kay, when you break through that door and you enter into the door of forgiveness, that open a complete new door to have a better relationship with you, your children, your ex-partner. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
That is fantastic. Now, from here, in terms of give us some kind of tips or points. If somebody out there is listening to this and they truly want to forgive, can you give them out there some points and tips, Kai, how they can start that journey of forgiveness? Because we know when you hold on to anger, which I really thank you so much, Kay, for sharing, when you hold on to anger, bitterness, frustration, resentment, all this makes you actually sick. It brings you down. Yes. Now, how can people begin to start the journey of forgiveness?
Okay, thank you so much. Beginning to start the journey of forgiveness. There are two reasons to forgive. You know, there are reasons to forgive and how to forgive. We have to learn how to forgive, and we have to learn why am I forgiving? Mm-hmm. The reason why I'm forgiving have to be one, your children, your background, your future, your work, your life. Because a heart of unforgiveness is a deadly life. It's totally a deadly life. When you check people that they have unforgiveness heart, you will see the end of their life or the end of their ways. It's always zero, always negative. So we have to how can I forgive? You have to practice compassion. When you practice compassion, you embrace positivity, and you take your responsibility as a father. Then you can now know how to forgive and have the art of forgiveness. Yeah.
That's powerful. What do you think, Daniel? That is absolutely powerful.
I couldn't have said it better myself. It was absolutely, perfect. 100%. I think you've got to know, why are you doing it? And ultimately it starts off, I think, either with your children and with yourself. Probably with yourself first, because you are the one that's there when you're unforgiving, when you're not forgiving, when you're stuck and angry. So it affects every part of your life, every experience, especially the relationship with your children. And if you really, truly want to connect with them, you can't hold on to this anger. Because, if you're holding on to this anger, even if it's not towards your, even if it's towards your ex, your children will feel it in some way. They'll feel it how you talk to them. They'll feel it in how you communicate with them. So ultimately, what Kay said, by letting go of these emotions and forgiving, it allows you to be a new you, a new version of you, a loving father, a kind, a supportive father. It just makes that a lot easier. So yeah.
Wow. Wow, that is really powerful, you know, in terms of speaking forgiveness. So really, when you're sitting there, unforgive your ex or whatever it is, it actually takes you longer now to connect and having that relationship with your children, you know. So that's what what about, again, just what kind of, just one, is it better to take responsibility sometimes in some of the issue in your life as you start this journey of forgiveness?
Taking responsibility, you know, there were two people in your relationship, and the two people in that relationship, you know, they already break up. You understand me? You already break up. So how can you take responsibility? When you want to be like a true father, if a wonderful father, a true father can never neglect his own blood child. Any man that says, because I am not with my ex, I will never take responsibility. When someone stood up right now and stood like a father, that's when you now say, oh, I am their father. No, you can never be their father, but when they needed you, you weren't there. So a man, a true father, have to take this responsibility. Even though my ex had another man, that man is taking care of them, both my children and my ex. It's no problem. But you, as the biological father, you have to do what you're right on the children. You might not do on your ex-wife, no problem. But on the children, on the kids you have to let them see the light of that father in you. That's his responsibility.
Yeah, and I also think as well, that's really well said, because that responsibility also gives you the power to change. Because as soon as you remain stuck in anger and blame, you are the victim. Yeah, you attain the victim status, and you cannot change. You have very little influence over your life, over your children's life. But as soon as you take responsibility and you understand, okay, there are parts of my experience that I am 100% responsible for. Yeah, my emotional state, my the way I think, the way I act. And by taking that responsibility, you empower yourself to make a change. And that's incredibly powerful.
That is so fantastic. And I love what you mentioned, Kay. You mentioned something like, when a child comes to you and then says, well, you've never been there for me as a father, you know, how can that be? If a child says that to the father, maybe something is happening like that similar right now, where a child says, well, you know, you've never been there as a father, or how could you start becoming a father to me now? What's your take on that?
Yeah, when a child says, you never been there for me like a father, because a child of 2-3 years old, he can speak, he cannot speak, or he can see. He knows when you come around. He knows when you're not there. You know, and when a child says another man, like making his or her mother to smile, to be happy, he found, this is my father. And when you are now coming as the real father, and you're saying, oh, how are you, my child? And the child look at you, you are not the one making my mother to smile. So what are you not doing here? Okay. So what a man can do is to curate time. Time, creativity matter most. It's not about, there was a time I was doing like every time I'll buy clothes, buy shoes and send it to them. I take it there myself. But someone called me that buying clothes, buying shoes, buying this doesn't bring the relationship between you and the kids. What your kids need, it's you, not the material things. You needed it to create a time for them. Like, okay, when you say, I am coming there 2 p.m., be there 1:55 p.m., stand at the door, let us see you at the door. Oh, Father is outside, he's waiting for us. But when you say, I'm coming 2 p.m., and you're coming there 2:45 p.m., my father doesn't keep the time. He now sees you as unuseful father that doesn't keep the time. Yeah, so you have to make every possibility to create time and not material things.
Thank you so much. That's
yeah,
powerful.
that was amazing. Yeah, 100%. And I loved what you said about the fact that, you know, if the child sees another man making the mother happy, that's who they see as the father in a way, right? So you have to really create that experience and that connection as much as you can, and that's gold, you know, that you know, and that may be and if you're holding on to anger, it's a lot harder to do that, isn't it? That's why you know, you need to take this journey of forgiveness.
Thank you so much. That is absolutely so powerful. I mean, Kay, what you've shared with us, it's gold dust. It's amazing. And how you answered that question regarding that I bring up, because I know my son said that to his father, you know, when he was going through the journey. He says, well, what does he care? He's never been there for me. And it was amazing. The father himself, he didn't see what was wrong on that, you know, he didn't see that. But as you're breaking it down, it makes so much sense. As a guest speaker, I would like you very much out there, Kay, speak to the fathers out there who are going through a tough journey and unforgiveness and everything. Please speak to the fathers out there for us.
Hi, my lovely fathers outside, my single fathers, my single dad outside. I am telling everyone outside watching us right now, or watching us after this program, being a single father, being a single man or dad, I know it's not an easy task, but you have to put in your strength, put in your energy, and trust in God. He who trusts in God never fails. He who believes in him never fails. Create time for yourself. Have what so-called, you have to be a hardworking man. Everyone is hardworking, but there are time for you to spend with family. There are time for you to spend with children. Let that be a time, you know, when you have that act of forgiveness, it's better for you because you've been forgiving your ex. It releases you yourself from a negative emotions. It speed the healing process from you. And forgiveness protects the kids, because when you don't forgive, your kids are outside there roaming about, doing all sorts of things outside, and you like, people are like calling you, telling you, I saw your children, I saw your student there, I saw them there. You won't be happy because you want a very good life for your kids. You want a very good life for your children. So when you have that heart of forgiveness, your kids can come to you. You can have a very love time, a very wonderful evening. Just create that time and spend a good time and not on material things, and God will surely have a way for you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. That is so powerful. That is amazing. What about you, Daniel? I know you got this passion for the men out there, and I know you work with them. Today, I want you to speak to the men out there who are not forgiving their ex, decided not to, and which is blocking them to actually say, please speak to the men out there for us, please.
I think you know, the best piece of advice that I can give for that is, you know, like what Kay was saying earlier, you know, do you want to stay in anger? Do you want to stay, or do you want to stay in love? Do you want to feel lighter? Do you want to feel more empowered? You know, do you want to really see your children? When you really want to see your children, you're going to make that step to forgive. And you're going to move along those lines and set the intention. And no matter what, stick with that intention to forgive, to love, you know, and you may not start out with love. It may just be acceptance at first, but gradually, the deeper you go into this, the more you move along this path, the more that will turn into love and connection. And that is, you know, that will bring so many different benefits in ways you can't even see at the moment.
Thank you so much. I know we're coming to an end of the program, but when we're hearing you guys speaking, a question popped in my head. Can we speak to the men out there in a couple of minutes from you, Kay and Daniel, for the men out there who chose not to have their children, don't want to be in part of their life? Can you just speak to those men out there, encourage them? And what are the benefits being part of the lives of their children? Kay, our guest, please.
Yeah, you know, there are some men outside, they'll tell you that I don't want to have children, I just want to get married, just want to live my life. Some want to live it like a single man out. The benefit of having children in life is when at the end you are called to glory, when you died, who is going to take whatever you left for? Someone gave back to you.
Legacy.
Yeah, remember, someone gave back to you, and that person that gave back to you, somebody gave back to her. So it's like life is like a generation. You have to let and let live. That's the code. Let and let live. So when you are saying you're not having children, well, I pray God touches you. If you know what your mind is telling you from negative, then you can move up to positive way. Yeah. And for the others that have children outside, never let them down. Put a smile on their face and make them happy. Thank you.
Yeah, that's
true. What about you, Daniel? That is so perfect. Fantastic. Thank you. What about you, Daniel, to speak to those men that don't want to know their children? You know,
yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, those kind of men probably won't be listening to this kind of show, but
yeah.
you know, but you know, it's something for me. It's fatherhood's been probably one of the most amazing experiences in my life. You know, from my daughter being you know, very young to, you know, she's 16 now. She brings me so much joy. We have such a great connection, and it's a natural connection, and it's one of the most beautiful experiences that you can have in life, you know, really connecting with your children. And yeah, and I would say, you know, that you're only missing out on something which is really profound and deep and a joyful experience. And it's never too late. You know, it's never too late to begin that journey and to make that connection. And there'll be a lot of emotions that will stop you from doing that. You know, shame, guilt, again, still even anger. But the point is, those emotions can be cleared. Sadness can be cleared. And when you clear those emotions, now all of a sudden you start to reconnect. Even if you haven't physically done it, you start to feel a connection. That's maybe when you'll start to reach out. So whatever emotions are stopping you from reconnecting, you know, find a way of facing them, sitting them, and letting them go. And if you do that, you're going to find more joy and more love in your life.
Thank you so much, my guest, Kay. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm just going to round up as we're coming to the show. And another thing about forgiveness, like I always said, I think I wrote that in my book where I spoke about forgiveness. And sometimes forgiveness is not about that person. It's actually about you. When you truly forgive, you, like when Kay opened up, he said he had to go deep inside him first, all right, to find that forgiveness. And that's how forgiveness works. And that's what we want to leave you here today. Forgive. and start the journey of forgiving yourself so you can have a better relationship with your children, with your ex, and also many doors will open in your life as well. Forgiveness also brings healing, restoration, peace, joy, and happiness. And of course, unforgiveness brings sickness, miserable, anxious, a whole heap of confusion. So which part do you want to choose? Which road do you want to choose? And as my speaker today, Kay, and obviously Daniel, who's always been here, he's very passionate about supporting you guys. So we all want to encourage you to walk through the road of forgiveness. And we want to encourage you. We want to just say thank you so much, taking the time being with us and engaging with us. And please do share this video. There are many people who's going to need to hear this message from our guest speaker. You know, what he talked about. 4 years it took him to forgive. Man, that is carrying heavy baggages. All right. But he let go those baggages and choose to forgive. And he said he has a better relationship now with the ex-wife, the children, and a great communication. So we want to encourage you to do that today. We want to say thank you so much. Now, Daniel, how can the people reach you? If they want to speak to you?
Yeah, just through my website, clearthepath.co.uk. And, you know, again, okay, I want to salute you for undertaking this journey. It's an amazing journey. You can see you've got a really great, bright energy about you. And yeah, so thank you for answering our questions and for sharing your journey. It's been an absolute privilege.
Definitely, Kay. We truly appreciate you. Thank you so much. You spoke from the heart. You opened from the heart. Thank you. And also, Kay, tell us that you've got your own business, a graphic design, and I have been working with Kay, some videos that's coming out to do with some of our show. Tell the viewer there, as a single father, co-parenting, and also working, you kind of do some stuff on the side. Tell them a little bit. We got a few more minutes. What do you do?
Single father out there, I gotta tell you, everyone else, get yourself busy with something doing. You know, let your ego, let it be down. Let your hunger, let it be down. Be a submissive man. Not only a woman can be submissive, a man also should be submissive. Yeah. And when you know, being creative, like me, after the show, I have a lot of editing videos I'm going into to keep myself busy. I have my coffee on my table, I have my cakes on my table. I got to go tonight. You know, so I don't stress myself. I'm not depressed. I look every time happy. I'm after work now. I'm having my own private work at home. So I'm fine. So you guys outside, get yourself something to do. Make yourself happy. Got a music. Music is the best, you know, to chill the souls, to have the heart of forgiveness there. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. And thank you, Kay. And he's a graphic designer and everything. We'll have him again. And I got to finish with this bit. He says that not only women submit, men gotta submit. That's his words, not mine.
Of course. When a man doesn't submit, he has ego. You know, your ego, you have to like bring your ego down. You know. Well, I told somebody that said marriage, man is the head of the house. I told them, man is not the head of the house. We are living an equal life. The Bible said man is the head of the house in a very different aspect. You know, we have equal right in the house. So be equal to your partner, be equal in your forgiveness, forgive yourself as you forgive your house. 50-50 is okay.
Thank you so much. And I just want to say to you there very quickly, we have got an amazing training program coming up, which is about targeting, supporting, motivating, encouraging men out there. Start looking out for the flyer, and we're going to have some amazing guest speakers on this training, amazing facilitator. because we just don't want to do the Father Talk show and there's nothing behind it. So we've got this amazing training coming for men, and I've run it before and the results was fantastic. And please also my book, Unbroken Bondage, Love for Single Father, The Journey of Single Father. That book is out there. It's in Amazon. Check it out. We're going to say now to all my guest speakers, thank you so much. Thank you for having us.
You're welcome.
Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you so much. Thank you. Have a nice
Guest
day.
speakers.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you on Saturday again. Thank you.
Thank you too. Bye.
Cool.
Okay, we're off live. Oh, have I lost Kay?
No, he's gone. He's gone. I wish I
Yeah.
told him to stay afterwards, but that was really good. He's excellent. Absolutely amazing.
Let me stop recording. I find